Damn phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
What it do, YouTube? B. Kelly, back again with another banger video. And today's video, y'all, I am going to be talking about my winners and losers of the 2022 Reese's Senior Bowl. Before I move on with the video, guys, remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as we are on the road to 10K. Now let's get into it. The first winner that I am going to be talking about in today's video is actually the MVP from the Senior Bowl game this year, and that's none other than the defensive lineman from the University of Oklahoma, Perrian Winfrey. In his career as a Sooner, he had 40 total tackles, 16.5 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. Honestly, he is my top player of the week from the Senior Bowl by far. Perrian Winfrey heading into the Senior Bowl was seen as a day 2 selection, pretty much a 3rd round pick at that, but this guy really balled out this week, and if you kept up with the practices and the game, Perrian Winfrey was honestly almost unstoppable. It seemed like no offensive lineman could really hold him. He was constantly bullying every offensive lineman. He was really quick off the line, he's aggressive, and the guy is ready to play football at all times. After this one amazing week, Perrian Winfrey, who was seen as a 3rd round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, is now seen as an early 2nd round pick and potentially even a 1st round pick. For my first loser of the week for the Senior Bowl, I have quarterback from Nevada, Carson Strong. Now, some may disagree with me on this, but I feel like he wasn't quite as good as some people would have hoped, and he struggled more than he really did impress people, and that's why I have him as a loser for the week. In his career at Nevada, he completed a total of 68% of his passes, threw for 9,379 yards, 74 total touchdown passes, and 19 interceptions in his career. Now, Carson Strong is a good quarterback, and a quarterback that seems like a good NFL prospect, and he's going to be one of the earlier quarterbacks taken in the draft. He still has potential to be a 1st round pick, but I do see him falling to the 2nd round unless he just has the best combine ever out of all the quarterbacks, because honestly, this week, Carson Strong wasn't the most impressive quarterback. I'm not going to go too hard on him with the day that it was literally raining outside, because that's not the best environment for the quarterbacks, and not all the quarterbacks that day really thrived in that environment. Carson Strong honestly was just expected to have a much bigger week than he did, but he struggled more than he did impress a lot of people. And in the Senior Bowl game, on the limited reps that he had, because all the quarterbacks were splitting time, he wasn't exactly the best quarterback ever, completing 6 of 11 passes for 67 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. On to the next player. We have yet again another quarterback, but this time he is a winner. From Liberty, we have Malik Willis. Malik Willis, in his career at Liberty, he completed 62% of his passes, threw for over 5,000 yards, 47 touchdown passes thrown, and only 18 interceptions, while rushing for a career yards of 1,822 yards and 27 total rushing touchdowns in his career as a Flame. Now, at the Senior Bowl, he definitely improved his stock from a potential 1st round pick to a early 2nd round pick to honestly probably a for sure 1st round pick, and maybe even one of the top quarterbacks selected in the 1st round. In the week, Malik Willis showed off a lot of skills with his arm, his accuracy, and of course, his speed and mobility. He is going to be a big problem on any NFL team he's on, because he can throw the ball pretty well, but he is a straight beast on the ground. In the Senior Bowl game, Malik Willis wasn't in very much. I'm pretty sure he only played about 1 series, maybe 2 at most. And when he was playing, he only attempted 4 passes, completed 2 of them for 11 yards. But he had 4 carries for 54 yards. On to this next player that I have his stock trending down after this week. It's offensive lineman from Fordham, Nick Zakelj. Now, Zakelj was a great offensive lineman at Fordham, as he was one of the best offensive linemen, if not the best one, in the All-Patriot League, and the guy was a straight beast on that level. and he was a captain. He's a leader, and he's a natural leader at that. He's a guy that you want on your team to help out. But he did not have the best week at all. In fact, he might have been one of the worst offensive linemen, and that's not me trying to throw shade, but he just struggled a lot in the one-on-one drills. He got beat off the edge a lot of times. He seemed unbalanced at times, and in the game, early on when he was playing, he had 2 false start penalties. He is someone that does have quite a bit of potential, but this week just was not his week at all. Back to the winner side of things, I have defensive end from Florida State and former Last Chance U star Jermaine Johnson. Now, Jermaine Johnson is seen as a first-round pick, and he solidified himself even more, as it seems like he's going to be an even earlier pick than he was originally projected to be, especially after the strong 21 campaign that he had, in which he had 70 total tackles, 17.5 tackles for loss, 11.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 forced fumbles. Johnson had a really dominant week at the Senior Bowl, as in the practices, he was always someone that was near the ball, and he was always someone that was always creating a lot of pressure, or just getting off the blocks a lot, and getting to the quarterback, or the guy that was acting as the quarterback. Jermaine Johnson is just a baller at that. He has good size, and his strong week at the Senior Bowl has made his stock go up even more. With this next player, I think he's someone you can kind of argue about and kind of have a debate if he was good or if he was bad, if his stock went up, if it was neutral, or if his stock has gone down since his week at the Senior Bowl, and that's offensive lineman from Washington State, Abraham Lucas. Now, my opinion, I think his stock went down slightly as he had some inconsistency issues. Some points he was pretty dang good, but then some points he was not very good at all. However, I will say this. In the game, he was pretty good, and that being his final showing at the Senior Bowl might help him quite a bit, but I do feel like his inconsistency in having some errors or showing some weaknesses in his game during the practice week might have his stock drop a little bit, but this is one that is worth a debate for. On to the final player that I have in today's video. I have another winner, this time coming from Baylor, safety Jalen Petrie. Now, I am very high on him, and I think he's one of the best safeties coming out of college football going into the 2022 NFL Draft. And this week at the Senior Bowl, he really balled out and showed people what he did at Baylor was the real deal. This guy can tackle, he can have some really locked down coverage, and the guy is a hard hitter. He is a difference to any team he's on, in my opinion, and you could really tell when he was on the field in that secondary for Baylor. In his career as a Bear, he had a total of 195 tackles, 36 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 4 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 10 pass deflections, 3 fumble recoveries, and 3 forced fumbles. Well guys, if you made it this far in the video, remember to smash that like button, drop something down in the comment section below who I missed because I can't cover everyone in one video, and there were a lot of people who really balled out this week, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on those post notifications. B. Kelly out.